Hello everyone, the Silver Stacker here and welcome to the channel. So if you enjoy videos around precious metals, then consider subscribing if you haven't already. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about, is it hard to sell silver? So there's a few different ways to sell silver. You can sell to dealers, pawn shops, or sell privately, or you could technically find an auction house, but that's more for rarer coins. So what I'll do is just sort of play with some silver whilst talking. Obviously it's fantastic stuff and you may not want to sell it, you may just want to pass it down. So it depends what you're looking for, but this is just looking at different ways you can sell and a couple little tips along the way just to kind of help you if you ever do get to a point where you want to sell. So to start with, selling to dealers can be the quickest and easiest way to sell your silver. So that's a great advantage, but the downside is selling to a dealer, you're not going to get as much in return. That being said, if you go down this route, I would call up multiple dealers, kind of ask around. I mean, if you're lucky enough that you've got a lot of dealers that are local to you, you can go visit and ask them all questions in person. But if not, just simply pick up your phone, ring around, ask them roughly what they're buying, whatever you're selling. So say you're selling 100 American Eagles, get quotes from all these different places and they'll give you a rough idea of what they'll pay. And then that way, at least you know you're getting the most for your silver, rather than going straight into the nearest dealer, selling it straight away and potentially missing out on extra money. And another advantage is actually just taking it straight in. So you don't faff about, you don't have to meet anyone privately, you know you've just got the safety aspect of it. So you can just go straight in, sell it, they'll give you a check or a bank transfer or cash there and then, and you walk away with it. So you've kind of got that safety aspect. Although you're getting it for a bit less, you're still going to be getting it there and then, knowing that you're safely selling your silver. Next we have pawn shops. So pawn shops may offer you slightly more, but will still be fairly low, kind of similar to dealers, because if you're going to sell it to a dealer or a pawn shop, they need to make money on you, so you can't expect to get too much for your silver. So you do need to bear that in mind. Although it's quick, easy and safe, you do get less for your silver. And you can potentially sell online, so you don't need to visit the shops, but that means they'll come out to you to collect it, or some of them may even expect you to deliver. So it does come with its multiple benefits, but at the same time you do get some disadvantages. So it kind of depends if you're looking for the ease of selling. Whoa, that was close. So it depends if you're looking for the ease of selling or just selling quickly, easily and trying to get that money in a hurry. So yeah, depending on your circumstances, it could work best for you. But if you want the most money for your silver possible, dealers and pawn shops may not be the way to go for you. So you can also try and find some auction houses. So auction houses can be good to sell silver, but it can be very expensive because you have to pay auction fees and things like that. And on top of that, it might not even sell. So it is quite a risk in that aspect. And if you were going to sell to an auction house, it's typically for like more expensive, rarer pieces of silver. A lot of people get their silver coins graded and there's a certain amount of mintage of certain coins, and that gives it a rare aspect, and that's what people go to auction houses to typically sell or buy. So auction houses aren't really for selling lots of silver. So you had like a load of tubes of maples, you wouldn't go to an auction house to sell those, that just wouldn't be feasible. You would only sell your kind of more expensive, high-end coins, if you like. So auction houses is just an option, but that's probably not an option for most stackers. And lastly, if you're trying to get the most money for your silver, we have the option of selling privately. Now, this is by far the best way to get the most amount for your silver, but you do need to bear in mind it can take a while to sell and it can be a little bit risky. Say someone wanted to give you cash and they wanted to meet you somewhere, you have to be very careful you don't get robbed or anything like that. So you need to be very, very cautious when doing it this way. I would suggest if you did have to meet someone, maybe meet them in a public place or near a police station and make them get the cash out in front of you at a cash point. Obviously, don't look at their PIN or anything like that. Just make sure that you know that the money is legit. So that way it just makes life a bit easier for you and just gives you that peace of mind, so you know you're getting the money and you're not getting ripped off with, say, fake notes or anything like that. But otherwise, you could sell online. So online is probably the better option. So this is the way I would sell if I was going to sell privately and online. I mean, I'm not sure if I plan on selling this or if I pass it down. It all depends on the future and the prices, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But for the most part, that would be the path I would go down, is going online, selling it through like different forums and different platforms. I mean, the most common ways to sell online is via eBay. So eBay is good, but the thing is with it, people tend to look out for like highly trusted dealers with lots of good positive feedback. I mean, me personally, I've only bought from eBay a couple of times and it's been 100% feedback and like a minimum of 1,000 or so sales, so I know they're trusted and they have good reviews, because you need to be careful. Some people get fake reviews, they just get like bots commenting all these different reviews on their profile, and some people will have 100% feedback with lots of ratings, but when you actually look at the feedback, a lot of it is buying feedback, so it's like prompt payment and things like that, not actually selling a product. So that is something you definitely want to look out for and be very cautious with. So that is definitely something to think about. Maybe start building up a profile, so put an eBay account up and just start selling the odd ounce of silver here and there, even if it's like one a month or one every couple of months or whatever it is, just so people can start buying some coins off you, giving you a rating, and then that kind of builds up a nice positive profile. So in the future, people can buy off you with confidence. So that's definitely something I'd recommend doing. And that way, at least you can sell with confidence. So if you've built up a good profile, you know you can sell relatively quickly. Whereas if you don't do this and then you just suddenly want to sell, it's probably going to take you a little while to get people to trust your profile and really start buying from you with confidence. So that is just something to bear in mind. I mean, if it was me personally, I'd just do what I said and just sell maybe an ounce a month, building up to a point where I want to start selling it in bulk or anything like that. I mean, you've got silver forums as well. You've got all these different places that you can sell. But either way, if you're new, people will be quite skeptical of you and they maybe put off buying silver. Although it's 100% silver and you know it is, you bought it from dealers, they are still likely to buy off other people just for having that safety. I mean, I know if it was me and I had two coins and one was a couple of dollars more expensive than the other, but they had a high reputation, I'd rather spend a couple of dollars extra to get something that I know is real rather than take a gamble with a newer profile. So that's why I think it's good to kind of steadily build up a profile and just keep yourself ready for any kind of situation that you might be in where you suddenly need to sell it in a hurry or anything like that. And lastly, just a few more tips for when you're selling. It is worth keeping an eye on the silver price to make sure it's a good time to sell. Obviously, unless you need to sell in a hurry. So if you wait for the silver to spike at quite a high price, it just means you get more money for your silver. And I definitely recommend trying to get the most for your silver if you were going to sell it. Obviously, everyone's different and you might just want to sell it and not really care about the price. Some people don't check the price, but just something to potentially look into, because some weeks it can close at say $20 and then the next week it could close at $24. So it is just something to look at, just to make sure you try and get the most for your money. I'm sure you guys would want to get the most silver for your money, so I definitely recommend just keeping an eye on the price, building up to a time where you know or think you might want to sell. And I'd also recommend keeping your silver protected. I mean, I only have these 5 coins out of capsules just for YouTube, because obviously it's nicer to see the real coins and have that nice clinking sound, as we all love. So obviously I can do this with these coins and not need to stress. It's still not great to do this. I mean, it's only 5 coins, but I'm just doing this for the purposes of YouTube. If I wasn't doing YouTube, then I definitely wouldn't be doing this. They'd all be safe in capsules and put in the box. I mean, the rest of them are always staying in capsules. So although we've got some really nice pieces that I'd love to get out and show you, I just don't want to take them out the capsules. I mean, look at that piece. That is just a fantastic piece. But yeah, obviously I want to keep those in the capsules to keep them protected, so you can keep your coins in the best condition possible, so you can get the absolute maximum for your money. I mean, some people like tarnished coins, but I do think it's best to just try and keep them in the best condition possible, so when selling, you can get the absolute maximum amount of money for your silver. And as I said already, if you are planning on selling online, just build up a nice profile just over the years or months or whatever you want to do. just so you've got a good profile ready to sell, so no matter what happens, at least you can sell with confidence and people won't be afraid to buy from you. So yeah, that's just different options, different things that are available for selling silver. So of course, there are potentially a couple other ways to sell, but that is the main ways to sell your silver, and just a few tips, some pros and cons to each way. That way you can kind of figure out which way is best for you and potentially start thinking about the future, like, oh yeah, okay, maybe I start building up a profile and just start selling some coins here and there just to get a nice reputation in. So yeah, I definitely recommend selling privately if you want the most for your money. Just start building up that reputation when you can. Obviously you don't have to do it monthly, you could do it every 3 or 4 months if you wanted, sometimes even every 6 months, just to start building that reputation. I appreciate it can be a bit of a pain having to sell silver and ship it when you don't really want to sell it, but at least you're building up that reputation for a time that you do want to sell, and then you've got that safety in the back of your mind to know that you can sell with confidence and sell a lot quicker than if you had a new profile and had to build up your reputation from scratch. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you very much for watching as always, and I will catch you guys on the next one.